I've been photographing the royal family for 20 years, and as we head into the Queen's Platinum Jubilee weekend, it's fantastic to look back at some of my favourite moments of the Queen and with her family. Absolutely, the Queen is my favourite person to photograph. She's just got this incredible aura and presence to her, and I think what is so special about that, she really understands what it means to the people she's meeting on the day, how important it is to them. For her, it's just another day's work, but for them, it's the moment they meet the Queen in their lives. And I think, we look at her wearing bright colours, she stands out in a crowd. Some people only catch a glimpse of her, other people get to shake her hand. And I think the realisation of what she represents and what she means to other people is clear to her. And for me as a photographer, she's just incredible to photograph, and every opportunity to have is special and a really amazing experience. So that's what makes it quite unique. There's one of the Queen which I really like, which she's in kind of a purple dress, and she's got a kind of slightly unusual expression. This particular photo is one of my favourite photographs for the Queen because it's slightly unusual, and it really kind of illustrates what is so important about photographing the Queen. It was taken in an opening of a maternity ward at the Lister Hospital, and there's a lovely background and the lights falling in a nice soft way, and it almost looked like it was taken in the studio. And the reason that I find this very special is every sort of day-to-day royal engagement, you may or may not get a picture that stands out in the royal collection for sort of tens or maybe even, if you're lucky, hundreds of years to come. And this was just a sort of day-to-day royal engagement, but everything came together in a moment to create something a little bit different. And that's what I love about photographing the Queen. She is this iconic, historic person. If the light falls in the right way, if you're lucky to get a nice background, something a little bit different, you might get an image that sort of lives on in the collection. And that certainly doesn't happen every day. But of course, we're looking forward to the Platinum Jubilee weekend and the 4-day bank holiday in the UK that we're going to be celebrating. There's so many events to look forward to, but the actual day of the Queen's accession, the passing of her father, was the 6th of February, and this picture sort of represents that moment. And it's the Queen working on her iconic red box where she gets her notes and letters and where she does her work. And she's up at Sandringham in Norfolk, somewhere she feels, incredibly relaxed. That's what stood out for me, and it's always an honour to be asked to take any photograph like this, so it was very special. So Trooping the Colour, the Queen's official birthday, is really one of the most important moments of the year for a royal photographer, and it's one of those kind of touch points where we see the royal family together on the balcony watching the fly past, but we see them, we look back year after year, and it's like a reference point, I suppose. You watch the children grow up and you see the Queen at the centre of this growing family, and it's the look on the royals' faces as they look up as the RAF fly above them is really special. So it's definitely all the pomp and ceremony and the best that Britain has to offer on the day. This particular photograph I took at Trooping the Colour, it was a kind of pared down Trooping the Colour in the grounds of Windsor Castle, in the quadrangle of Windsor Castle during COVID. And of course, it wasn't the normal Trooping the Colour, which of course is the Queen's official birthday celebrations. But this enabled me to sort of capture a slightly more creative moment, I suppose, using slow shutter speed and getting the soldiers marching past the Queen. And it's quite difficult as a royal photographer to try and create something a little bit different because you're so constrained by time and often sort of positioning. But this was something a little bit different, and I was kind of happy with the result. So that was something a little bit more creative. This is one of my favourite photographs of the Queen and the Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall. So taken at the Highland Games, which is one of my favourite events to photograph up in Scotland, where the Queen and members of the royal family spend their summers. Clearly somewhere the Queen feels incredibly relaxed, and this particular photo was taken, I think, during the tug of war during the Braemar Highland Games. I think the team had just fallen over, and the Queen and the Prince of Wales, Duchess of Cornwall, and the Duke of Edinburgh burst into hysterics. And it was just such a lovely moment, and it's definitely one of my favourite ones, the highlight of the year. Yeah, so it was a real privilege to take the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh's 73rd wedding anniversary photograph in Windsor Castle in the Oak Room, and it was during a difficult time after a COVID lockdown, and to see the Duke's face when he opened a card from his great-grandchildren, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, and it was that link between the generations at a time that was really difficult for people during COVID, and it's a more candid picture, and I think it tells more of a story. But to reach a 73rd wedding anniversary for any couple is an amazing achievement. The Queen has a lifelong love of animals, and dogs and horses in particular, and of course she's had her corgis and her doggies, and there's some lovely photographs of the Queen with her dogs, and it's clearly something that makes her happy. And of course horses, we see her at Royal Ascot at the Windsor Horse Show, and this is something that certainly makes her happy, and her passion for horse racing is probably absolutely her number one pastime, and that can't be denied. So it was fantastic to see her this year when it's been a little bit more difficult for her to attend events with her mobility issues. So there were some lovely photographs of the Queen watching the event from her car. I suppose one of the special things about being a royal photographer is watching and documenting the royal family, is watching the changes, watching them grow. For me, the most incredible thing has been photographing, royal births and christenings. There's nothing more exciting than that, moments of national celebration. A new member of the royal family, it could be the birth of Prince Louis or Prince George, and of course, milestones for the Queen, such as the Diamond Jubilee. It goes to show how the Queen has this incredible ability to bring together the nation. We'll all remember her speech during COVID and how she was broadcast into the living rooms of the nation. She really inspired everyone to try and look on the positive side of things, and she has that amazing ability and unique ability. So I have such fond memories of the Diamond Jubilee. So looking back at that period and how, the whole nation was celebrating this moment and this period. And this is why I'm looking forward so much to the Platinum Jubilee, because being a royal photographer, being at the forefront of these moments of kind of national and global celebration, people all around the Commonwealth, it's just amazing. It's such a feel-good factor, and I'm so looking forward to photographing all the different events for the Platinum Jubilee. It's going to be a really busy weekend, and I'm really looking forward to it.